Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we really get into some fascinating material.
Yeah.
And today we're looking at the 30 rules of being a sales rainmaker.
Oh, this is a good one.
This is Win Nathan Davis.
Yeah.
And we know that a lot of our listeners are in sales leadership, so this is going to be right up your alley.
Absolutely. This is a great one for sales leaders, hiring managers, executives. I mean, anybody who wants to be more effective at selling.
And did you know that almost 80% of sales reps fail to meet their quota?
It's crazy, right?
It's wild. And,
Yeah.
Win Nathan Davis is really offering a roadmap, I think, in this piece to kind of get past that and achieve elite sales performance.
Yeah, and what I really like about his approach is it's not just about like closing deals and, being like super aggressive. It's really about building a sustainable and ethical and enjoyable approach to sales.
Yeah, I love that enjoyable approach.
Yeah.
So let's dig into some of these gems.
Right.
And we'll start with rule #3. Rainmakers are genuine and sincere. This might seem obvious, but I think when you really think about the implications, it's pretty powerful.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it goes beyond just being a nice person, It's about building trust and rapport with clients. Like, people can tell if you're being fake.
Yeah.
You're not just selling a product or a service, you're building a partnership.
Yeah.
Who would you rather do business with, somebody who, like, feels authentic or somebody who feels like they're reading from a script?
Totally. And that ties in really well with rule #11, the Rainmakers. Rainmakers command respect and walk away from situations where it's lacking. So this is where that authenticity meets strong boundaries.
Yeah, you can be genuine and sincere while also being assertive, and knowing your worth.
Right.
Sometimes the most authentic thing you can do is walk away from a deal that isn't a good fit or where you're not being treated with respect.
Absolutely.
So it's like setting clear boundaries and holding yourself to a high standard, and that's how you command respect.
I love it.
And that, in turn, can inspire trust in clients and your team members.
Okay, so we've got that authenticity piece.
Yeah.
But it's not just about feelings. It's also about preparation and presentation.
Yes.
And Davis combines rule #6 preparation with rule #10, which focuses on presentation.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, preparation, goes beyond product knowledge.
Right.
It's about understanding your client's needs, anticipating objections, having a tailored solution ready,
Yeah.
It's like, imagine walking into a client meeting where you not only know your product inside and out, but you've also taken the time to really understand their pain points and how your solution can address them.
Yeah.
That's the kind of preparation that makes you stand out.
It shows that you value their time
Exactly.
and you see them as a partner,
Yeah.
not just a potential sale.
Absolutely.
And it's so interesting how he includes that little detail about shoes, shine suit pressed.
Right.
It's not about being flashy.
Yeah.
It's just about showing respect,
It's about those details,
even in the detail.
in the details, yeah.
And that translates so well, I think, into virtual meetings, too.
Oh, absolutely.
Just making sure you've got a professional background, minimizing distractions, being fully present.
These small things can make a big difference in how you're perceived
Yeah, for sure.
as a sales leader, and by extension, how your team is perceived.
Love it. All right, let's shift gears now to focus and efficiency.
Okay.
Davis starts strong with rule #1, selling as a target game.
Mm-hmm.
This one really resonated with me,
Yeah.
I think, because it brings a sense of clarity and purpose to every interaction.
Yeah, it reminds us that every call, every email, every meeting should be moving us closer to the goal.
Right.
Like every play in a football game.
Yeah.
There's a strategy involved. There's a deliberate effort to advance the ball down the field.
It's not about just making calls for the sake of making calls.
Right.
It's about making calls that are strategically aligned with your goals.
Yes. And that ties in beautifully with rule #7, always be closing, and
Yeah.
rule #14, one more call.
I love it.
There's this beautiful rhythm to these three rules together.
Yeah. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, it's about consistent, focused effort. Always be looking for opportunities to advance the sale.
Yeah.
And never underestimate the power of one more call, one more email, one more follow-up. It's about maximizing every opportunity.
Love it.
It's that dedication that really separates the good from the great.
Yeah.
Speaking of maximizing opportunities, let's talk about rule #15, incremental selling.
Okay.
So this one is all about securing those small yeses.
Yeah.
that build momentum and pave the way for bigger wins down the line.
Yeah, it's like a psychological game almost, right?
Yeah,
You get them to say yes to something small,
right.
and it's easier to get them to say yes to something bigger.
Exactly. It's a brilliant strategy that plays on the principle of commitment and consistency.
Okay.
So when someone has already committed to something, even if it's small,
Right.
they're more likely to stay consistent with that decision and commit to more.
It's like building a staircase to sales success.
Yeah.
One step at a time.
One step at a time.
And I think this is especially relevant for our listeners who are dealing with those complex B2B sales cycles
Absolutely.
where the stakes are high.
Yeah.
Speaking of high stakes, let's move on to rule #19, start at the top.
Okay.
So this is crucial for B2B sales.
Yeah. You want to get buy-in from senior decision makers early on.
Yeah.
Why waste time trying to convince lower-level contacts when you can go straight to the source?
It's about being strategic with your time and effort.
Exactly.
And then once you've got the attention of those decision makers, it's time to monetize the value.
Yes.
As Davis puts it in rule #20.
So true.
Don't just list features and benefits.
Right.
Translate those features into tangible ROI for the client.
Show them how your solution will impact their bottom line.
Yeah.
Like imagine you're selling a software solution that automates a tedious task.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, our software automates X, Y, and Z, you say, our software can save you 10 hours of manual labor per week, which translates to $5,000 in cost savings per month.
Right. It's a much more compelling pitch.
Right.
It's about speaking their language.
Yeah.
The language of results and return on investment.
Yes.
Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about personal brand and professionalism.
Okay.
Davis has a lot to say about this, particularly in rule #21. Rainmakers are never late and never rush, always in control and always prepared.
Yeah.
I mean, this is about more than just time management, right?
It is. It's about cultivating an aura of competence and reliability.
Yeah.
Think about the sales leaders you admire.
Right.
Do they seem flustered or disorganized?
No.
No, they exude this calm confidence that
Yes.
inspires trust.
Yeah.
So it's about mastering the power pause, being comfortable with a bit of silence, not rushing to fill every gap in the conversation.
It shows that you're thoughtful.
Exactly.
You're not just spitting out a rehearsed script. And this ties in beautifully with rule #22. Rainmakers never get angry and never make it personal.
Mm-hmm.
Sales can be a high-pressure environment. Emotions can run high,
Absolutely.
especially when you're dealing with those challenging clients or tough negotiations.
Yeah, for sure.
But keeping those emotions in check is so crucial.
It is crucial. Letting anger or frustration dictate your behavior
Yeah.
can damage relationships, derail deals,
Yeah.
hurt your reputation.
It's not worth it.
Not worth it.
And Davis links that emotional control to like a winning mindset in rule #23.
Yeah.
Rainmakers persevere in the face of adversity.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't let rejection get them down.
No, they don't.
They see setbacks as opportunities for learning and growth.
They do.
It's about having that unshakable belief in your ability to succeed.
And that resilience is contagious. When
Yeah.
you as a sales leader exude that determination, it inspires your team to keep pushing forward even when things get tough.
Yeah.
Speaking of competition, Davis has a bold stance on this.
Yeah, he does.
In rule #24, Rainmakers never discuss the competition.
Oh, yeah.
They don't exist.
He puts it in quotes. They don't exist.
Right.
Now, of course, competitors exist in the real world.
They do.
But I think what Davis is getting at here is the importance of focusing on your own value proposition.
Yeah.
Right? Don't get bogged down in comparing features and benefits.
No.
Highlight what makes you unique.
What problems you solve better than anyone else?
Exactly.
It's about owning your space in the market and confidently articulating the value you bring.
And that leads nicely into rule #25.
It does.
Where Davis talks about generosity.
Yeah.
He says Rainmakers are never cheap.
They pick up the tab and do favors.
It's not about being reckless with money.
Right.
It's about building relationships through those genuine acts of kindness and generosity.
Exactly.
Like taking a client out for a nice meal.
Yeah.
Offering valuable insights or advice.
Mm-hmm.
These gestures can go a long way in solidifying those connections and building goodwill.
They do. It shows that you're invested in the relationship, not just the transaction.
Right.
And that ties in with Davis's emphasis on surrounding yourself with successful people in rule #26.
Yes.
Rainmakers lose the losers.
They only associate with winners.
That's right. It's the old adage, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Yeah.
Surrounding yourself with those ambitious-driven individuals can elevate your own thinking and performance.
I love that.
It's about creating a network that supports your growth and pushes you to be your best.
And this leads us perfectly into rule #27.
It does.
Rainmakers brand themselves. and are always building the brand value of everything they do.
Yes.
So it's not just about having a fancy logo or website.
Right.
It's about cultivating a reputation for excellence in everything you do.
It is.
Think about the brands you admire.
Right.
They've built strong reputations over time through consistent quality and commitment to their values.
Yeah. And in the world of sales, your personal brand is your most valuable asset. It's what sets you apart from the competition and makes you memorable to clients.
Davis also offers some insightful advice about setting high standards for yourself and those around you in Rule #28.
Oh, yeah.
He says, Rainmakers know the A-list.
Mm-hmm.
They know that playing with a stronger player makes you stronger.
Right.
They're always looking for a stronger player.
It's about pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone, seeking out challenges that force you to grow.
Yeah.
It's also about surrounding yourself with talented individuals who inspire you to raise your own game.
It's about constantly striving for excellence and never settling for mediocrity.
Exactly.
Now let's move on to one of the final rules that stands out.
Okay.
Rule #29. Rainmakers never underpromise and overdeliver. That's a chump's game.
Oh, this is a good one.
Rainmakers always promise and deliver the best. Always.
Love it.
It's a powerful statement
Yeah.
about setting realistic expectations,
Mm-hmm.
being honest about what you can deliver,
Right.
and then going above and beyond to exceed those expectations.
Exactly. This builds trust through consistent performance, not through gimmicks or empty promises.
Yeah.
And that principle seamlessly transitions into the final rule #30.
Okay.
Rainmakers never get slow. They are always on top of the game, physically, mentally, and emotionally. Slow is for losers.
I love that.
It's a call to action to stay sharp,
Yeah.
stay hungry.
Stay ahead of the curve.
The sales landscape is constantly evolving, and complacency is the enemy of success.
Yeah, it's about having that growth mindset, that insatiable desire to learn and adapt and refine your skills.
Mm-hmm.
As the sales experts, we need to be physically energized,
Mm-hmm.
mentally sharp, and emotionally resilient to really stay ahead of the game.
Yeah, I love that. It's so true. When you're operating at your peak,
Yeah.
you bring that energy and focus to every interaction. You're inspiring your team and delivering exceptional results for your clients.
Absolutely. So as we wrap up this deep dive into Win Nathan Davis's 30 rules of being a sales rainmaker, I think the biggest takeaway is this. Sales success isn't about luck. It's about intentionality.
Yeah.
It's about cultivating the right mindset, the right habits, a commitment to excellence that permeates everything you do.
Yeah, it's about being authentic, prepared, persistent, and always striving to be the best version of yourself.
Yeah, and remembering that sales at its core is a target game.
Mm.
Every interaction, every decision should be moving you closer to your goals.
Think about it,
Yeah.
Which of these rules resonated with you the most?
Yeah.
How can you apply it to your sales strategy this week?
Yeah.
Maybe it's recommitting to meticulous preparation for every client meeting.
Right.
Or pushing yourself to make that one more call each day.
Or taking a step back and evaluating your network.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Are you surrounding yourself with A players
Right.
who inspire you to raise your game?
Yeah.
Remember, as Davis says, rainmakers lose the losers. They understand the power of surrounding themselves with success.
This deep dive has given us a lot to think about.
It has.
It's a reminder that sales excellence is a journey, not a destination. It's about continuous learning, relentless self-improvement, and an unwavering commitment to delivering exceptional value.
And for our listeners, the sales leaders, the hiring managers, the executives out there, we encourage you to dive deeper into Win Nathan Davis's work.
Yeah.
Explore all 30 rules.
There's a wealth of wisdom there to help you unlock even greater sales success.
Remember, the world needs more rainmakers.
It does.
It needs leaders who can inspire, build relationships, and drive results.
So go out there.
Make it rain.
And make it rain.